We'll turn together to our passage for this morning, for the week ahead, and that is found in Acts 10, 34 through 48. Let's take our copy of God's Word, turn together to Acts 10, 34 through 48. Years ago, Bob Dylan once sang what became an anthem, "The times they are a-changin'," became an anthem for the change for the times. And interestingly enough, just a little bit of music trivia, he was actually inspired or influenced by Irish and Scottish ballads for that song. So a little music trivia for you there. But he sang this song, "The times they are changing," to signify that change was coming. And for those of you who are from that generation, you can remember the great change that was taking place there in the 60s in the world of society and culture and even the church. The times they were indeed a-changin'. And that same sentiment is true for the church in the time of Acts 10. The times they are a-changin' for God's church. What was changing was the ethnicity of the church. If we were to see the church at that time, we would have seen it was primarily a Jewish church, and that was made up of primarily Jewish people who thought in Jewish ways, who did Jewish things, and even there was a Jewish flavor to their worship. And as we've been seeing here in Acts 10, all this is getting ready to change as God is now sending his church out to the Gentiles to bring the Gentiles in. And this is going to cause change in this church. And the catalyst for this God-ordained change is centered around a Gentile and a Jew, around the Gentile Cornelius and the Jew, the Apostle Paul. So we find Cornelius, who's a Gentile, a non-Jew. He was a faithful and devout Roman centurion. And Luke tells us that one day while Cornelius was in the midday prayer, he's visited by an angel of the Lord.